to show that to everybody tomorrow. And we need you to help us do that. So can you make a commitment tonight that you're going to vote and you're going to get other people to go vote tomorrow if you've already voted? Okay, I'm counting on y'all. Herschel is counting on y'all. Okay, now I do this every time, and this is my last time I get to do this before he's a senator, so y'all make it louder than it's ever been. I'm the cheerleader for the team. I'm going to say Herschel, you're going to say Walker, and the last time it's going to be so loud that Raphael Warnock is going to hear it and know who's going to be the next senator, okay? All right, here we go. Herschel Walker! Herschel Walker! Herschel Walker! Yay! The best. Now, we have had so much fun on this bus tour, and Ralph Reed is one of my dear friends, and he's been on this bus day in and day out. He has an amazing, wonderful organization called Faith and Freedom. They've been out there knocking on doors for the evangelical Christians, getting out the faith-based vote. So y'all give a warm welcome to my dear friend, Ralph Reed.
Hello, Kennesaw! Hello, Cobb County! Are you ready to make history? Are you ready to bring some sad faces to some television sets tomorrow night? When on MSNBC and CNN, after all their false narratives and fake polls, they have to look into the camera with shocked expressions on their face, and they're going to say, "We have a call to make. It's a surprise. We can now declare that Herschel Walker has been elected to the U.S. Senate." Now, folks, I have got good news for you tonight. I got good news. You want some good news? First, on November 8th, we fired Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. Now, I know the media and the White House and the Democrats are trying to tell you that they actually won the election. But the House flipped for only the third time in the last 68 years Republican, and Nancy Pelosi is on her way back to San Francisco. Number two, on Saturday, the Georgia Bulldogs won the SEC championship. And they are on their way back to the playoffs and their second consecutive national championship. And then tomorrow, we're going to make history again. And we're going to send one of the greatest champions for our values in the history of this state to the U.S. Senate, and his name is Herschel Walker. And let me tell you, this is going to be a major upgrade. This is going to be a major upgrade. Because he's going to be replacing somebody who's voted 96% of the time for Joe Biden. 97% of the time with Bernie Sanders, who's a socialist. He's voted for $4 trillion in runaway spending that has given us the highest inflation in 40 years. He's voted to raise taxes on working families in Georgia and hire 87,000 new IRS agents to audit you and harass Georgia taxpayers. He voted for a bill to nationalize elections that would overturn Georgia's election integrity law and get rid of voter ID in Georgia. And he voted to kill the Keystone Pipeline, which led to higher energy prices. And now the President of the United States is going on bended knee to Saudi Arabia and Venezuela to beg for oil and energy when we were energy independent just 2 years ago. Now that's what this man has voted for. And I could go on, but you don't need me to. You don't need me to. But I will tell you this, and I want to underscore what Ginger said. Folks, we have 12 hours to go. 12 hours until the people of Georgia go to the polls. I want you to ignore the media and ignore the polls. And I want you, when you leave the rally tonight, on your way home, I want you to call a friend or call a family member in the car. I called my sister on the bus, and I said, has Mom voted? Because my mother's in an assisted living facility, and we were having a hard time getting her absentee ballot. Has Mom voted? Yes. Have you voted? I'm voting tomorrow. Is your husband voting? Do that tonight. And we're going to ignore the polls. We're going to ignore the press. We're going to turn the world upside down tomorrow night. And we're going to send a man with a heart of gold and a spine of solid steel to the U.S. Senate, Herschel Walker. Now, I want to bring to the podium now a woman who has become a dear friend of mine. And I've been doing this a long time. And I want to tell you, Ronna McDaniel has been here again and again for Georgia and for Herschel. And she has moved heaven and earth to get senators and congressmen and surrogates and money into this state. We saw her earlier today. She left to go to a phone bank to make calls this afternoon. She's a grassroots national chairman. She gets it. And she's totally committed to us and what we're doing. I am honored to welcome the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Ronna McDaniel, back to Georgia.
Hello, Georgia! Are you ready to elect Herschel Walker to the United States Senate? So I love Ralph Reed. How much do we love Ralph and Ginger? But I'm going to make a promise to you tonight. I am from the state of Michigan, and I don't know if you've been following the football that's been going on. Georgia kicked our butts last year. We might be facing off again in the national championship, but if you elect Herschel Walker, I'm going to wear Georgia head to toe. I promise. I love you. She said you should wear it anyway. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you all for what you're doing. We need to elect Herschel. Herschel is a good man. He is a good man. He is a godly man. He is a man who loves the Constitution. And he is a man who will go to Washington, D.C. and fight for every single person in the state of Georgia, regardless of party, regardless of anything, because he cares about everyone. When I took my daughter to college 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, I was in the Target, and Herschel called me. And he said, I think I'm going to run for Senate in Georgia. I said, well, Herschel, I'm sorry. I'm taking my daughter to college. She's going to be a freshman. He said, will you put her on the phone with me? And Herschel got on the phone with my daughter, and he gave her the greatest, most loving pep talk. And she said to me, he is my favorite candidate ever in the history of the Republican Party. Mom, make sure you elect Herschel Walker. But that's that is his heart. He cares about everybody. He is exactly what we want to see in politics. He is exactly who we need. So you, each and every one of you, you have work to do. You look great right now. Tomorrow night, I want you all to look like crap. Okay? That's your job. Because between now and tomorrow, I want you to talk to every single person. Talk to your neighbor, your friend, your coworkers, the people you go to church with, your family members. If you have wronged somebody, you make it right. And you talk about Herschel Walker. I told this phone center today, I want you to call people till they issue a restraining order. That's how important this election is, because it's going to rain tomorrow. And tell people, bring your umbrellas and be ready to save our country by electing Herschel. So every single one of you, get out to vote and then get your neighbor to vote and your friends and your family to vote. Our country is on the line, and we need you. Are you ready? Are you going to look like crap tomorrow night? But then we're going to celebrate when we elect Herschel Walker. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. One final thing. This is about the balance of the Senate. Herschel's number 50. It means we get all the committees. It means they don't get to put the bad judges through. This is a critical seat that will allow us to stop Joe Biden and the Warnock disastrous agenda that is killing our country. We need you, Georgia. We need you, Georgia. So let's get out and vote, and let's elect Herschel Walker tomorrow. All right, so I get to introduce an amazing woman, friend, leader. She is phenomenal. She's a rock star. She served as governor in the great state of South Carolina. She was our ambassador to the United Nations. She works so hard, and she is here tonight to help us elect Herschel Walker. Please join me in welcoming my friend, Nikki Haley. I'm going to ask you again, are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. The nation's cameras are behind you. They need to hear you. Are you ready? Yeah. So I was thinking about this. You know, I have a special place in my heart for Georgia because it's our sister state, right? So when I was governor, we took care of each other. That's what we did. And so South Carolina's looking at Georgia going, what's going on, right? Because 2 years ago, Georgia had a hiccup. 2 years ago, Georgia did something that wasn't characteristically like them. And 2 years ago, something went very wrong. But I know Georgians. I know they have an ability to self-correct. I know they have an ability to get it right. Because I know Georgians will go back and say, okay, we did that 2 years ago. But my question to you is, you gave Warnock 2 years. 2 years. Do you know what he did for you in those 2 years? I'm going to correct my dear friend Ralph Reed. He helped spend $5 trillion of our tax dollars, and they've got 3.3 that he's wanting to spend more of. Did he say no to that money? No. He didn't. Did he say no to the highest inflation we've had in 40 years? No. Did he do anything to stop Biden from getting dirty oil from Venezuela? No. Did he do anything to allow the Keystone Pipeline to come through so that we would have energy production? No. He wasn't there for you, Georgia. No, he wasn't. And then let me ask you this. Have you heard him say anything that backs law enforcement or Border Patrol? No. Have you seen him say anything about the 4 million illegal immigrants that have crossed our border? No. Have you seen him do anything to get immigration reform in the books? No. His income went up 140%, I can tell you that. Have you seen him do anything in... Now let me get the question out. Have you seen him do anything to give parents more control over their kids' education? Have you seen him fight for school choice? Have you seen him respond to the fact that 2 weeks ago we found out that 70% of 8th graders across this country are not proficient in reading? Did he say anything about it? No. Did he do anything to stop the lockdowns when they were happening? No. All right, George, I'm waiting to figure out why you did this. Because you've told me no after no after no. But now let's get to this. My husband is a combat veteran and deployed in Afghanistan. Did he say anything about what happened in Afghanistan? No. Did he say anything about the responsibility of those 13 military men and women that we lost? No. Has he said anything about the fact that China gave us COVID and has yet to be held accountable? No. This is what I want Georgia to realize. How did he make your life better in the last 2 years? He didn't. He didn't. So now I'm going to ask you this. If you turn on the news, what's everybody want to talk about? 2024, right? But let me tell you what happens with this election tomorrow. It's not about 2024. It's about 2028. Because if you don't help us get Herschel elected, you've got to live with this guy until 2028. He's going to represent you for 6 years. That's not Georgia. Georgia is a state that's fiscally responsible. Georgia is a state that believes parents should be in charge. Georgia is a state that has good, hardworking Americans that love our country. Georgia is a state that has patriots that understand that America is worth loving and worth fighting for. So now we have a chance to love America tomorrow. Now we have a chance to show our patriotism tomorrow. Now we have a chance to show America that we're going to lead the charge on loving America tomorrow. Because the midterms may not have gone exactly how we wanted. But it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. And we get to finish these midterms tomorrow. And what I'm going to say to you, I appreciate Herschel for a couple of reasons. I appreciate him because we grew up in very similar manners. We grew up in rural South. We know what challenges are. We know how hard life is. But we had parents that knew what it meant to love America. We had parents that told us that you could be anything you wanted to be without government getting in the way if you worked hard enough for it. We had parents that said, don't complain about it, do something about it. Herschel saw what Warnock did to Georgia.
Yes, he did.
He didn't complain about it. He threw himself in the fire for you. And he has been beaten and burned and criticized and ridiculed. And what's he done? He has kept on fighting for you. Opportunity to right a wrong. We have an opportunity to end this right. We have an opportunity to start a direction of loving America like we haven't in a long time. But this is the thing. It's messy outside. It's going to be messy outside tomorrow. When I came last for Herschel before the election, I said, I'm not going to agree with anybody on TV or anybody else that's talking about a red wave. And the reason I said that is because there is no red wave. There's either turnout or not. This is all about turnout. I know y'all are going to go. I literally just told Herschel to fill up that bus full of people that need to get to the polls and take them to the polls to vote. I need you to get people on your street. I need you to get people from your church. I need you to get people that work with you. Take them to where they need to go. Don't let them tell you to do it. I want you to do what the sign says and flood the polls on December 6th. So if we do this, We can show America that we're about to right the ship. And I know you can do this because I know my sister state knows how to fight. And I know my sister state knows how to win. So now we're going to do it on all levels. And I am telling you, there is nothing that's going to be finer than a day, normally I would say in South Carolina, but in the entire country will thank you if you can help us do this. So let's do the biggest, proudest thank you could ever give for a candidate who has fought and worked his butt off. Give it up for Herschel Walker.
Hello there. I'm going to acknowledge my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because he said if you don't acknowledge him, he's not going to acknowledge you. And I'm going to try to keep my speeches short because I want everyone to be able to get out tomorrow and get ready to vote if you hadn't voted. And I also want to introduce my wife, Julie. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put her on the spot. No, I'm going to put her on the spot and make her say a few words. Because people then say that I don't let her speak, so I'm going to let her say a few words, then I'll just say something and we can get to business.
Thank you, Kennesaw. Thank you, Georgia. So, y'all probably want me to come up here and say a few words about Herschel, but I got to say a few words about you guys because you guys come here. You say thank you, you smile, you hug us, you thank us. We get hit on all day and you guys come and you love on us and you pray for us and it means the world. It means so much, I can't even tell you. So I just want to thank you and thank you. And, Herschel always says it's we the people and you guys are the people and you're what he's here for. So thank you.
And I want to say this is about turnout. This is about turnout, and now that means that we got to get in the game, and we can't sit on the sideline anymore, because if we sit on the sideline, y'all see what we're going to get. We're going to get people that's you can't trust anymore, and I'm going to just tell this. I ain't going to tell that story no more, but what I want to just say to you guys is I heard this the other day that, I'm not going to talk about, going to those expensive places that I've been to because that's sort of like I'm bragging. But I was at the grocery store the other day and stuff, and that is exactly what you're going to get if we put Senator Warnock back in office. Our grocery price is going to go up. I stole that from Senator Kennedy, so I got to give him his due. And one of the things that I want you guys to know is you guys see what's going on. That's what's so funny. You see what's going on right now, and you have a decision to make. Tomorrow is very, very important. And I said it before, and everyone been telling you, whoever has voted, get your friends to vote, call your friends to vote. This is so important. And I say this, if you don't have friends, what do you need to do? Make some friends and get them out to vote. Pick up some friends. And I just decided now that the bus could pick up some people to go vote because but the gas prices are high, so we're going to make it short and stuff because of Senator Warnock and stuff. But you guys, you know what's happening. We got an open border. We got an open border that we can secure that border. But we just got to put the right leaders in Washington. We got people that are afraid to go out of their house at night because of crime. But we can solve that. We just got to put the right people in Washington. We got our military. They were talking about kicking our military out of the military because of this mandate with the vaccine. But if we get the right people in Washington, that won't happen. And then we got people that want to go to our enemies to ask for things, dictators. They want to go to terrorists to ask for things for us. But that won't happen to get the right people in office. You got people that have put men and women sports. And I can tell you right now, that won't happen if you get the right person in office. So what we got to do, we just got to get people in office that believes in America. One of the first things I said when I decided to run, I said, I want to get people that love America because I'm totally shocked that we seem to not love America. And if you don't love America, why are you running for office in the United States of America? I'm totally confused. And we're not going to put the citizen of America second anymore. It's time to put the citizen of America first. And if you don't love the Constitution, why are you running for office in the United States of America? You got to love the Constitution. So it is time for us to stand up, but stand together. Because what the left has tried to do and the guy I'm running against have tried to separate us. Well, we won't let that happen. And let's go back to what the great Bible said, a house divided cannot stand. So we got to start standing right now. And we got to get in the game, get out to vote. And that's the way your voice is going to be heard. It's going to be heard if you get out and vote. So I'm telling you again, vote, 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 flood the polls. Don't go home. It opened at 7 a.m. I'm not going to sleep tonight because before a big game, I don't sleep because I'm ready. So I want y'all to get ready. And I want us, if we flood the zone, by 8 or 9, we'll know who won this contest. So let's do it like that way. I want to be able to watch Gunsmoke. So let's flood this zone. And I want to thank you guys so much again, because let me tell you, I've done a lot of things. I've won a lot of awards. I won a lot of things. I told people this here, and I'm going to say this here. The best thing I've ever done, including the Heisman Trophy, the Racial Algebra Award, all those things. The best thing I've ever done is run for office right here. And the reason why is I saw my Heavenly Father show me my family. And I want to thank you guys for this here. And I will always, always fight for my family. And I want to just leave you with this. A vote for my opponent is a vote for Joe Biden and a vote for Chuck Schumer. And he's shown you that a vote for me is a vote for Georgia values. And it also is going to give you a voice in Washington because you hadn't had it yet. So I want to say God bless you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. God bless.